to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Welcome to the Get Your Happy On Hour. I'm your host, Ricky C. Simmons. This is 93.7 The Ticket. Man, I got a show for y'all tonight. I'll be real honest with you. I'm excited, too, because I'm going to learn something about this young lady that I didn't know. But first, I'll start off by giving a big shout-out to Empire Fencing, Matt Warner. You guys are doing big things, man. I appreciate all the love and support you continually give me. I just want you to know that it's not taken for granted. Matt Warner's got good people out there. He has a program he does every Monday morning. And, man, you guys really need to know about that. I mean, it's an uplifting way to start the week. And I just love the concept of just being positive. Actually, positive mental attitude is my deal. And I love positive people. You know, positive people are hard to find because there's so much adversity going on in our society that, unfortunately, it's not easy to be positive. I've been accused of making it look easy, but it's just because I make a conscious effort every single day to be happy. I ain't saying that my life is perfect. I just like being happy. It's real simple here. There's no magic. But a positive mental attitude and positive people, they tend to go hand in hand. And the other piece that I would add to that is humble. I think it's very important to be humble. A lot of people look at being humble as being weak. I look at it just the opposite. I think it takes a very strong person to be humble, especially when it comes to people being disrespectful. It's real easy to react negatively to disrespect. It's a lot harder to say, okay, you sure right. I'm going to walk away from that because there's nothing good coming out of that. But when I say positive people, I got a guest tonight. I swear, every time I see her, she's smiling. And that right there is a great start for me because I run into so many people in the course of a day or a week or whatever that look like they just bit into something that didn't taste good. They got that bitter beer face, I guess is what people call it. But my guest tonight, and we're gonna have to talk about something before we get started, but I'm gonna welcome her in first so that I can let her explain some things to me. Welcome to the show, Bree Fansteel.
Hi. I'm like over here. Do I talk yet? Do I not talk? I'm so excited.
Bree, explain your last name because it's spelled P-H. Spell it for us, please, because I messed it up.
Now you're throwing me off a little bit. It's German, and I think it got lost in translation a little bit. I'm not sure on the story, but it's P-F-A-N-S-T-I-E-L. It's a lot of letters. I think they just like put the whole alphabet in a hat, a fedora, to say a fedora. It looks a little familiar what's on your head. And then they just shook it up a whole bunch and threw the letters out, and they came up with my last name.
Fansteel. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, well, welcome to the show, Bree.
I'm glad to be here, Ricky.
Well, Bree, you know what? I wanna start off by asking you this. Where did you grow up?
Here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
In Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
And you went to what high school?
I went to North Star. Go Gators.
I'm familiar with them Gators. Okay. Now, Bree, after you finished high school, you took a different path.
A little bit. I started working at a fast food joint, and then like straight out of high school, like a month later, I got into SEC, the community college here. I took a few quarters then. Now they're semesters, I believe. And, I was on the dean's list. I had a great GPA. Grades were great, but I didn't feel like I didn't want to pay for something if I didn't know where I was going to go yet. And so I decided to join the workforce with Speedway Motors. I started in the call center, and I was just going to see like what's out there, what are jobs? Like, what are the jobs? Sorry, not what are jobs, but what are the jobs that are available to me? Because I want to make sure if I'm investing in my future, I'm going the right route. Like, I don't want to start paying for a whole tuition or a whole route that is completely in the wrong ways. Like I'm not going to be happy in the end there. And so I decided to start working, and I'm so thankful. I'm still with them about 7 years later, and I've just kind of climbed up through the company, and now I'm the marketing project manager. So
What?
yeah.
Well, listen, let me ask you this though, and this right here is what throws me off. You
He is stumped.
yeah, you race cars.
Yeah.
I mean, where did that come from?
So I have a huge competitive nature in me. I grew up, I actually danced. So I did like ballet, tap, jazz, hip hop, all of that. I did that for 12 years through my childhood. But I had an older brother who's 6 years older than me. And there was one night, I don't remember why, I had no interest in what my brother was doing, but I had to go with dad and my brother to a go-kart track. And I thought it was the biggest waste of time ever. But then they're like, hey, do you want to get in one? And I was like, no way, Jose, not happening. But we had like a jinkety yard cart. And I got to ride on that afterwards around our house. And then I made some friends, and then I kept going to the track. And then finally my brother started doing pretty good. And I was like, well, hold on. He is not going to be the only winner in the family. Like, I am going to beat my older brother. I don't care what it is. He could be like a chess master. He could be a race car driver. I don't care. I'm going to beat him. And so I got in one. And I was going so slow. So slow. Like, you could probably get out there at a brisk walk and you're going faster than I was in that little go-kart. But I think I was 7 or 8, and I was just having the time of my life. Like, when we got done, I got out. So with go-kart racing, this was on a dirt circle track, a smaller track. And so you're turning left the whole time. I wasn't used to that. I didn't frequent the merry-go-round on the playground. I tried getting up and I about fell over. I was so dizzy. I was going so slow and I was so dizzy, but I had so much fun with it. And my dad had talked about this racing bug, and I ended up getting bit by it big time. I was like, Dad,
Now,
I want to race.
How old were you when you got bit?
I think it was 7 or 8. Maybe it was 8 because my birthday's in the summer, but it was towards the end of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess my dad and my mom were kind of just like, oh no, we are in trouble. And they were, because to this day, I'm still racing. I'm now in a sport modified, so a full-sized car, just wrecking havoc and having a good time.
Well, let me ask you this. When you're out here competing, what is that like? Because I've never even thought about doing that, let alone experienced it.
I haven't really reflected too much on that, surprisingly, but it's weird because with my competitive nature, you think it'd be, oh, I want to be faster than that guy, or I want to be faster than that girl. And it's actually one of the things that it's like, I want to be faster than I was last week.
Okay.
Like, for me personally, I want to do better than I did last time. How
So
can I
you're
make
competing
sure
against yourself?
Yeah, like how can I make sure that I push this thing to its absolute limits? I'm pushing myself to its absolute limits, and hopefully that comes out with a win. Hopefully that comes out with a good result. So it's a lot of fun.
So how long have you been doing this? I mean, in the full-size cars, I'm saying.
In the full-size cars, I did a full season my rookie year in 2016 at I-80 Speedway, and then I went to Eagle Raceway a couple times. And then I wasn't really feeling it. Like, I was just kind of out there just solely for fun, not necessarily for the competition for the next few years after that. And then I'd say about 3 years ago, I really got into it and started getting serious. Started spending more money, spending my own money, spending more time working on it in the garage, and then also at the races. So in full, whenever the math is on that, almost 10 years probably. But
so you were like, as soon as you got a driver's license, you started racing, or before that?
After. So yeah, that was the rule, is I had to get my driver's license first and then I could get in. And it's probably for the best.
So you've been doing this now, and apparently you love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I follow you on social media, and that gets pretty competitive out there.
It does.
Yeah.
It's kind of cutthroat in a sense.
Yes,
Um,
it looks that way.
the more serious you take it, the harsher the environment is. It's weird. It's like when your mindset changes, then you start to realize kind of where everybody else is at around
Mhm.
you. Like before, it was kind of like just putting around in the back, having fun, hoping maybe we could make the show. And now, with all the time and money that's invested over the last few years, it's like you're really trying. You're really trying, and you're noticing those around you who are really trying. And there's a lot of great people that I've met through the racing community that are super supportive. And like, if something happens, they'll talk to you or you'll talk to them. But I've also noticed like we've grown our Facebook page that you mentioned over 3,000 followers this year alone, which was
Wow.
huge. And I didn't really expect it. I was just kind of out there trying to have some fun with it, get into my marketing side a little bit more. And then that's when, like you said earlier, the negativity starts coming out.
Right,
And
right.
when you're talking about it, I don't know if I should be doing this or not, but like if you post something negative on my page, block. I hit the block button because I don't want, like, if I don't want to see it, I don't know that my fans or my friends or,
Right,
I don't want my aunt to see it. Like,
right,
that's not
right.
something that needs to happen. Um, so yeah, it's different. It's different, but I think it's because everybody loves it so much.
Well, see, I happen to agree with the negative part.
Mhm.
I'm the same way. If someone makes a negative comment
Mhm.
on my page, I block them. I don't try to respond. I just block and
Yeah.
delete because if you want to be negative, I mean, that's your choice, but do it on your page.
Yeah. And I've made the mistake. I've made the rookie mistake of making a negative comment and it got blown out of proportion
Oh,
because it's
absolutely.
someone will read something and we all do it. Like it's different than having a conversation with a person. You'll read something and it will be taken a completely different way than what
Then
you
you,
intended.
right,
And
right.
like I've been guilty of it. So now it's just, kind of minding your P's and Q's and just trying to cancel out the hate as best you can because that's not why I spend the money I spend. That's not why I spend
Mhm.
the time that I spend. I do it because I love it.
But it is an expensive sport, from what I've been told. I mean, you
Oh,
you
yeah.
can you can spend quite a bit of money because
Yeah.
I've known people that have told me stories about just the financial piece
Mhm.
alone. But here's another thing that kind of gets my attention about you is you're in a predominantly male dominated sport. Or am
Yeah.
I wrong there?
Oh, no, you're right. I will say it's gotten better from when I was younger or even before me. Like before me it was even worse. I wouldn't say worse, sorry, but I'd say it was more saturated as predominantly male competitors and
Hmm.
um but now it's, there's more and more. I know that around the Lincoln area, we have Eagle Raceway, we have Columbus. I'm going to find at least one other female that's also a driver out there, whether it's in my class or another class, which is nice. It's like, hey,
Yeah, you're not the only
like,
one.
yeah. But it's also one of those things that I think as it's going on, it's kind of trickling down a little bit. I don't want to say that I've influenced anybody's decision to race or they look up to me per se, but I do like to think that maybe they're a little bit more comfortable because it's more common or it's something that you see more of. Like
Right.
when I started racing go-karts, I had two other best friends with me who are also girls that raced with me, and there weren't that many out there. But now, like, I'll go to a go kart race just to cheer the kids on, and half the class is female. Like,
Hmm.
half of the class is boys, and half of them is girls, and they're all racing together. And it's not like, oh my gosh, there's a girl out there anymore. It's, hey,
Right.
there's another racer. Like, and I love that.
When you're racing against, I'm just making up a hypothetical. When you're racing up against let's say, I don't know how many people race at one time, but let's say you're one of the only females. If you pass a guy, do you think they take that a little personal?
Most of them don't. Most of them, like, as the years go on, like a lot of them surprisingly, they just treat us like another driver. Like the respect is there and I love it. Now the respect needs to be earned. That's one thing. There's some people that I would say don't love it as much, but the ones who are friendly and are nice and are respectful, they outweigh the others.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
I wouldn't say it's as big of a problem as it was when we were little kids. For sure.
So you're going to, I guess, I'm sitting there thinking about this. You've been doing this, you say 10 years.
Just about,
Just
yeah.
about 10 years. So what's next? I mean, are you going to try to keep going up and up and up, or what are your thoughts on that? What are your goals?
Spill the details yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I can't spill it yet, but we do have plans.
Trying, though. I was trying.
I know. I saw it right across your forehead.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to get this information.
Yeah, well, you know what? Whenever you do decide that you want to spill the beans,
I'll let you know.
Yes, and we might have to have you back on so you can spill the beans.
Of course.
Can we do that?
Yes, we can do that.
Well, okay. Well, can you share something else with us? When you actually, let's just say, for example, walk me through a race. I mean, like, what's the preparation?
So if we're talking race day, you get there, you drive your truck and trailer, and you unload your car. We do something, it's pretty common is you'll put like a travel shock on. It's a dead shock. The shock is suspension. We put a travel shock on, we take those off, we put our actual racing shocks on. So we get the car just like final touches of what we're going to do. And then they're watering the track still, the promoters are. We'll go out, we'll do about 3 laps. We call them hot laps. Each class does them. It kind of packs the track in, and it makes sure you know how you can remember how to turn left, is what a guy used to always say when we were in karts. And then, we have our national anthem, we do our prayer, and then we start getting lined up for races. So there's different classes. So if you go to a typical IMCA track around here, like Eagle Raceway or US 30 Speedway, they have sport mods, which is the class that I run. They have A mods or modifieds. They have sprint cars, they have hobby stocks, and they have stock cars typically. Sometimes there's other specialty classes as well, but each class has a set number of heat races, we call them, and that's like your qualifying race for the main event where you win the trophy or the money. And the top finishers out of that determine where you start in your main event, or your A feature as we call it. So typically there's about 8 to 10 cars in a heat race, and maybe you have 30 to 40 competitors total in that class with you. So you'll have 4 or 5 different heat races.
So you have to finish like at a certain level in each heat?
Yep. So you have to get, let's say there's 30 cars that show up and you have X number of heat races. You need to get top 3 or top 4 will transfer on to the main event. And then they have like a last chance feature that they have, which is a B feature, where they take a certain number out of that. And then you get into the A feature, and then everybody's racing for one position.
Wow. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back, man. Don't y'all go anywhere. This is 93.7. The Ticket is to get you happy on hour.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Gentlemen, it's time to elevate your style with something from our men's jewelry and watch collection. Why not treat yourself to the ultimate in luxury? We've got an incredible selection of pre-owned Rolex watches, even those hard-to-find models you've been dreaming of. Whether you're stepping up your game day look or adding a touch of class to everyday wear, our top-tier collection is sure to impress. Stop by Sartor Heyman and discover the perfect piece to reflect your unique style. Until next time, happy shopping, guys.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com. General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Explain to me again why we're sleeping on the ground.
Because we're thramping, thrift camping. It's saving us money and getting us closer to nature.
But we don't need to thramp. I just combined our home and auto insurance with our State Farm agent, so we have a rate that fits our budget.
All right. Do you think our agent can bring us an air mattress?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
And we're back. Hey, before we get back to our guest, I gotta ask Bach a question. We got anybody over there, man, that's done commented?
Yeah, we got some comments to read off.
Well, let me hear what you got.
Let's start with Carla here on Facebook. She says, "What's up, homeboy? I'm listening from Poland." So that's
Poland. That homegirl's everywhere. That's my homegirl. She be all over the globe.
She also said, "Brianna is the female version of Speed Racer. She may not be familiar with Speed Racer. You can hip her to it, my homeboy."
Yeah, you weren't born when Speed Racer was out, but okay, I'll lace her up, homegirl.
I've seen a poster at work.
Also, Brett chimes in on YouTube. Hope y'all are having a good Sunday. Keep doing big things, big bro. And Odious Lee says, "Another great show, little bro."
Thank you both, man. I appreciate my big brother Odious Lee and my little brother Brett down in Tulsa. I appreciate you guys tuning in, man, and supporting the show. It means a lot to me. Now, I got to ask, before we went to break, you were talking about all these different levels. Now, you got to understand, I don't know nothing about racing, so you're going to have to help me out with this. Now, you say y'all have to come in like third, fourth, or better in order to advance to the next round. Okay, now, this is, when we were talking during the break, you said this is a expensive sport. And you claim to be on the cheap end, and your cheap end doesn't sound cheap to me, but I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Would you mind sharing with them what it costs for you to do your car?
So full car, drivetrain, so your motor, everything that makes it turn, makes it go, all the way up to including the fuel that you have to put in your truck or your truck to haul your trailer to the track, including registration fees, everything like that. A rough estimate is about $25,000.
That don't sound cheap to me.
Rough. And I'm learning things as I'm becoming an adult that you really need to do your expenses sooner. That number shocked me because, there's a lot that we're still missing out on. And I've got a lot of great supporters behind me that are helping me out. I didn't realize how much money we were spending over time. That's not a number that you have to spend all the time. So it's not every year. So hopefully the goal is you don't have to replace your motor every year, which is a chunk of change.
Right.
You don't have to replace your entire car every year, hopefully, which is a huge chunk of change. I'd say the biggest thing for us right now is probably tires and fuel is our biggest expense for the truck, because you got to think, the price of diesel, and then you're getting like 11 miles to the gallon and you're driving an hour and a half one way for one night, for one race. So that stuff is what really, really adds up. But you know what? It's not. I like to think, it's not any different than someone who maybe goes on vacation a lot and travels, or someone who, golf is really their thing. They've got the nice gloves, they've got the nice polos and trousers, and they've got the really nice clubs, and they're paying for like a course membership and things like that. So I think it's kind of eye-opening for me, at least. This was my first year as a sole car owner. Like my dad kind of stepped down. It was time for me to spread my wings and fully own the car. Luckily, I was able to still use his truck and trailer, but we're building a trailer this year, and that kind of adds on to our expenses. Yeah. It's a lot of money for me.
Well, let me ask you this. Now, you said being a car owner, and you said you also know how to work on the cars.
A little bit.
I can't work on no cars.
No, it's different. I will say it's probably easier than your daily driver because there's not a whole lot of electronics. Like a lot of things are still mechanical.
Okay.
So you can look at something and kind of see how it works. And it's like, oh, does this wrench fit on this bolt head? Oh, it does. Okay, well, lefty loosey, righty tighty. So a lot of it's like exposed and you can see it.
Yeah.
Where I think it gets a little bit more technical when it comes to a daily driver because there's so many different things that are involved.
Right. Well, I mean, the safety part. Can you go into detail? Because I mean, I've seen some of them cars that you was driving. They don't look. I mean, I'm not putting it down. I mean, don't take it like that. But I mean, is there a lot of safety measures for you?
There are. And I like that question because I actually feel safer in my race car than I do in my daily driver. Nothing against, car manufacturers or anything, but having been in wrecks before, and not quite feeling the impact of the wreck in my race car and then getting out and seeing that the car is, holy moly, it looks destroyed. Like, what just happened? Like, you got T-boned and came out with not even a sore muscle. Is crazy to me, and that's why I feel safer. So we have a full roll cage. So like if we do flip or roll, we're this little egg in this eggshell, and we're safe. Like the yolk of an egg.
Okay.
So if you think about a child's car seat, we've got a 5-point harness. So you've got 2 straps that go over your shoulders. You've got a lap belt, and then you have a submarine belt, and those all connect at one point. So that's got you strapped in. You're secure. You're not going to slip through. You're not going to slide out, anything like that. We've also got full containment seats. So I've got this metal seat that kind of just forms around my body, and it's got padding. I've also got a helmet on. I've got a neck restraint system. If you think about, your spine connecting to the base of your skull. I know Dale Earnhardt Sr. is probably a more common, I'm going to call him a household name, the legend. James Rowland's going to love that I'm talking about him. That keeps your skull connected to your spine with the head and neck restraint. It's got tethers on it that, my shoulder belts go over this device that's on my shoulders. So that straps it in. And then it's got tethers that connect up to my helmet. So that's kind of like another 2 points, another neck to absorb the impact of anything that were to happen. Then we've also got like safety shutoff switches. So if there was a fire or for some reason I needed to turn off all the electrical in my car, I can quickly do that from inside where my seat is. We've got a lot of different things. We've also got fire suppression systems that go in there. So it's like a fire extinguisher that if, I was on fire, I could hit a button and then or pull a pin and it just explodes with whatever is inside of a fire extinguisher. I don't know exactly how it all works.
Okay.
Luckily, we haven't had to use it. And then we've also got a fire suit and fire retardant clothing, so gloves and like a head sock that goes over your neck and underneath your helmet. So everything's kind of fireproof, so it adds seconds onto how long you can be on fire, pretty much, which is a scary thing to talk about, but it's something that can happen and has happened to people, and it buys you time.
Now, doesn't all that stuff get kind of warm? I mean, because you're racing in the summertime mostly, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I think I could.
Because I don't think them cars have air conditioning.
Oh, no, they don't. Sometimes I think I could stick a little DiGiorno pizza in my suit and it'd be ready by the time I get out of the car.
How long is the average race? I'm just curious.
Hopefully, if there's not any yellows, so cautions, probably a few minutes for your heat race. Just a few minutes on those. And then your features, I've been in a feature that was about 30 minutes, but that's because we kept having cautions where we needed to slow down. Maybe there was debris on the track or someone wrecked or anything like that. I don't know how long the feature is. Maybe it's like 10 minutes.
Well, let me ask you this.
It's not bad.
So, accidents, you were talking about safety. Have you personally been in any accidents?
Yeah, I've been in a few of them. I'd say the worst one I've ever been in was actually in a go-kart, and it was at the event center, and it was a long time ago. I think it was 2012 over New Year's, and I had slid up and I got into some marbles. I don't really remember exactly what happened, but I know that I hit the wall really hard, and it's before they had like extra cushioning. We're going to say they used tires.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually hit my head. I had a helmet on, but I hit my head on a giant pole that was used to hold the building up. One of those big round poles. I hit my head on that and it knocked me out. And I guess people who saw said I tried getting out and I just kind of like slumped down like a noodle. I ended up, that was probably the scariest thing that has ever occurred to me. So once and now granted, they have learned from that and a lot of other things that there's a lot of safety in place now, which is great. And I was also, I was in a flat cart where there isn't a roll cage in those. The idea of it is if something happens, you kind of slide out like you do a motorcycle if you were to wreck in a motorcycle. But now the more popular classes are cage carts. So they have a roll cage just like the big cars do. And they have the full containment seats, which is way safer. But anyways, this happened to me and I got knocked out. And it took a few months of some outpatient rehab at Madonna, and I honestly don't remember much of it at all. But I know I'm better now, and I'm all right. But that was probably the scariest thing I've ever been in.
Well, one thing, it didn't scare you away from the track because you're still racing.
No, my mom tried making me not do it. She's like, "You're never doing that ever again." And I was like, I don't know about that.
Well, you was telling me during the break too. You had a favorite race? Is that?
Yeah.
Would you share that with us?
Yes. So it wasn't my best finish ever, but it was one that it was a favorite race because the expectations were absolutely non-existent. So we had this car in my dad's garage, and it was back when I-80 Speedway was still open off the 420 exit in Gretna, Nebraska. And we had this car that had been wrecked and it was just sitting there. And I guess over Thanksgiving, my dad and my brother, they had some Thanksgiving drinks and they got a porta power out, which is just, it's a hydraulic metal push piece is how we're going to call it. It pushes metal out. It pushes things apart or pulls them together. And so they used that and they're like, I wonder if we can just put this frame back where it's supposed to be. I mean, they're messing with the structure, the carcass of a car, and they're hoping that it works just for fun. And it looked like it worked. I mean, we were really doing some weird things with this car. And anyways, we put it all back together in 2 weeks, and it was the first time that I really felt like I was contributing to the program. Because, I'd do things. I'd ask Dad, like, hey, what do you want me to do? And he'd be like, loosen this or tighten this. But I didn't necessarily understand why I was doing the things I was doing. And 2 weeks to build a car from absolutely nothing into something that was drivable was not something I thought that I could do. And we did it. And we had the help of some awesome people that came by as well. And fellow competitors helped us too. But we got it out there. We got it out to this big race. The first night we went out there, it was a 2-day show. First night we went out there, we had brake problems. So didn't even finish that night. And so the second night was like the last chance to get our poop in a group. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
We got Bach over there.
Okay. So it was our last chance to, get everything together. And it just went out there. No expectations. We thought we were just going to like throw that car into a dumpster somewhere, drive it off a bridge. Went out there, started in the very back of our B feature, and we made it up. I think we were one spot shy of making it into this main event.
Wow.
Which was crazy. And that was the most fun I had because I don't know how to explain it, but I had cotton mouth and I was just smiling the whole time. And I don't know that I've smiled that hard during a race for that long. It was just so fun. It was like, man, we did this. And that's what kind of sparked my my desire to try harder. Because before, like I said, I was just kind of putting around and, just showing up to a track every now and then and getting in a race car, la da da da. But after you work on it, it's like, holy moly. Like we did this, and that was just a huge thing for me. We had one last chance after that race. We were one spot short of making it into the main event, and then we had one last race. They called it a last chance qualifier. I don't remember how many people were in that one, but I know they were only taking the winner of that race into it was the last chance. They were only taking one person, the winner. And we still were able to advance about 5 or 6 spots. So although we didn't win it, we still had a good run. And I just remember getting out of the car and my dad was like on his tippy toes, jumping up and down. And I got out, pretty sure I tripped coming out of the car. I was so happy. And I don't know if people around me were like, dude, you didn't even get into the main event, but like, I don't care. We had so much fun.
Well, let me ask you this, because you had mentioned this earlier, and before I forget, I want to have you ever had the opportunity to race your brother?
Yes, and I kicked his butt.
What?
He's probably listening like, that's not the full story. So I will say this. My brother is a dang good driver. He is a dang good driver. I think if he would still be racing as much as I am now, like I think it'd be a pretty tough battle. But I got to race him last year in a go-kart. Granted, he hadn't raced he only races a go-kart once a year now. Because he's a responsible adult, unlike me. But he got in one and I got to race him and I beat him. I was so happy. I walked past him. I was like, hey, good job, bro. Like I was but I think, and the nice thing is he was so proud of me too, but I was just happy to be out there with him.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you beat your brother, but you know what?
He taught me a lot of things about racing though too.
There you go. Give him some props.
Oh yes, of course.
We're going to take another quick break and we're going to come back and wrap the show up. Don't you go anywhere on 93.7. The ticket is to get you happy on hour.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Gentlemen, it's time to elevate your style with something from our men's jewelry and watch collection. Why not treat yourself to the ultimate in luxury? We've got an incredible selection of pre-owned Rolex watches, even those hard-to-find models you've been dreaming of. Whether you're stepping up your game day look or adding a touch of class to everyday wear, our top-tier collection is sure to impress. Stop by Sartor Heyman and discover the perfect piece to reflect your unique style. Until next time, happy shopping, guys.
NEBCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEBCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEBCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com. General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right, most recommended Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Explain to me again why we're sleeping on the ground.
Because we're thramping, thrift camping. It's saving us money and getting us closer to nature.
But we don't need to thramp. I just combined our home and auto insurance with our State Farm agent, so we have a rate that fits our budget.
All right. Do you think our agent can bring us an air mattress?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
And we're back. Well, before I forget, I got to thank my guest, Bree. Let me see if I get this right. Van Steele.
Yes, you nailed it.
Well, go,
yes.
Ricky. I want to thank you, Bree, for coming in and sharing this information, because I learned something new tonight. But Bree, I got a couple things I want to get in before we wrap, and that is, do you have any shout outs?
I've got a lot of shout outs. It takes a village to make something like this happen.
Okay, well, let me hear it.
First off, my team. My dad's been helping. I've got Brian's been helping me, and my friend G-Dog or Gerald. He's awesome. He's been great this year. This was his first year on a big card team, and he's absolutely nailed it. But we've got some great sponsors and supporters. Obviously, 93.7 The Ticket, they've given me a platform. We do the finish line during the racing season, so you'll hear us next year. But also, the Final Touch Auto Restoration, Good Life Fitness. That's kind of where, I release some stress when I'm not racing. A to Z Renovations and Improvements, the Auto Connection of Lincoln, Nebraska, Deals Plumbing, King's Auto Supply, Twisted Dirt, R&R Customs, BHE, so Bob Harris Enterprises. They've got our shocks that we use, the good performing shocks after the trailer shocks. And then we've got Jeremy Schaefer Real Estate, Noonan Industry LLC, Rose Graphics, my friend Tina and Bitsy. They're awesome. They teach boot camp at Good Life Fitness, and they've helped me out as well. I've got McAddy Concrete Construction, Mr. Yards and More, Sluka Motorsports, Hamilton Horsepower, Jet Racing, Fury Chassis, and Dynamic Driveline. So I've got a whole village behind me, and I couldn't do without them. So I'm very, very, very grateful and very thankful to have them with me.
Big shout out to everybody that's supporting Bree. I think what she's doing is amazing. Bree, I also want to know, how do people reach out to you if they want to ask you any questions, or if they may want to be a part of what you're doing?
Yeah, for sure. So you can find us. Facebook is where we're most active. You can find us at Brianna Van Steele Racing. On Facebook there, you'll see us. That's really the main one. We're responsive on Messenger, on comments. Like I said earlier, as long as those comments are positive.
Correct.
You can have any question you want, but we want to keep it a positive environment, just because things can be misinterpreted or like I said, I don't want my aunt seeing negative things. So
Right.
keep it clean, keep it nice, but definitely, have some fun. I like the funny comments or the relatable comments. So keep those going. The gifts get me. But yeah, you can catch us on Facebook. We'll be selling some more merch at the end of the year. We kind of got a rebranding going on that I'm excited for, and I better close my mouth before I say too much.
Yeah, well,
but-
listen, when you do get all of these other things that you can't share,
Oh yeah.
I want, hey, if it happens before your show starts back,
I'll let you know. I'll be knocking on the window over
okay.
here in the studio, like, "Hey, Ricky, it's time."
because I'm very interested in what you're doing, and I just think that you're inspiring. Even though you don't look at yourself as a role model, I think you are for a lot of young ladies to inspire them to do what you do. Sometimes when the sport is not common for a lady to do, sometimes females can take it as if we're not supposed to do it, but you're showing that that's not always true.
Yeah, it's the unknown. And,
Right.
My biggest thing is, like, if you want it, go get it. If you want to do it, go do it.
Right. I got a saying for that. Go get it and come back with it and hair up.
Oh, I like that. I like that one a lot.
Well, again, I just want to thank you, Bree, for coming in. But I do have to ask one last question.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if you thought about it yet, but I got to ask. When you get some downtime, how do Bree get her happy on?
How did Bree get her happy on? It's keep doing what makes me smile. And if it doesn't make me smile, I stop doing it.
Okay, that's fair enough. Hey, well, listen, I wrap my show up the same way every week. Every day you blessed to say is just another day in paradise. And no matter what, you got to get your happy on.
Ooh!
I'll see y'all next Sunday.